What does Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson all have in common? They all had a mentor, and you need a mentor. Our mentorship classes will push you out of your comfort zone. We will give you strategies, concept, motivation to not only be successful, but incredible in all your endeavors of life. We will encourage you and lift your auto detailing business to an all new level. All the greats had a coach. If you want to be great, sign up today and click that link below.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Prince with Grind Time Radio. And today we got a great show ahead for you guys. I want to introduce you a guy who's on Team Beast Mode. His detailing game is reckless. Detailing gangster, Texas, the biggest giant standing on the block. I introduce to you my man, Ray Brock. What's going on, Ray?
Not too much, Prince.
How's life been treating you?
It's been really good. Getting a lot of business the last couple of weeks.
Good. Listen, man, I'm just going to go into these questions. We're still waiting on another call, so we happen to call in. We'll just keep on going. So, Ray, I want to just ask you, what made you get into detailing?
Well, it started with me wanting to just be financially secure. But I was doing, just wasn't making it.
Okay. And so you decided to go into detailing?
Yeah, it actually started out with me saying I was going to do house cleaning because it's something I'm good at. And I discovered I can make just as much money from detailing a car in a quarter of the time.
Yeah. I actually had a lady a few years ago. She used to do house cleaning, and she actually saw one of my ads on Craigslist, and she called me and asked me about, it seemed like you know what you're doing about detailing, and so she started her own detailing company, and the name of it is Pretty Pink Auto Detailing. Pretty Pink Auto Detailing, that joint. And it's just basically just a bunch of women going out to clean your cars. Now, in a guy's mind, we think that, bikinis and beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's not how it is. You know what I'm saying? But great concept, though, right? You have, and what they do, they wear the vehicles that they use is pink. Their uniforms are pink. They come out there and they detail your car. That's what they do.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what they do. So let me ask you this: when times are slow, what drives you? What keeps you going? What keeps you in the game when things are going really, really slow?
If things are really slow, if I do 2 cars a week, I'm still making it better than I was at my last job. So I do it with the confidence that if I do $220 details, I'm still walking out ahead of what I was working 40 hours a week.
You got that right. You got that right. For most guys, you were telling me earlier this week about a contract or a potential contract you was trying to get.
Yep. I had a pest control company call me, said they got 11 cars plus all the employees' cars, which is another 15 cars they want me to come do.
And I'm assuming that you want the contract to be like once a month, or is it once a week, or what?
It's a once a month contract. They want me to come out on the 15th of every month at $50 a car.
And how much is that all together? I ain't gonna do the math.
About $12.50.
About $12.50. That's pretty good for one contract. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what really keeps me going too, because you never know when that call might come in, and it might be totally slow. It's been many times it's been totally slow for me when I was out there doing detailing by myself, and then a call would come in, and it's like, I got 6 limos I need you to do, and it's like, bam, back in again. You know what I'm saying? Love it. Love it.
And I got that call off a Craigslist ad.
Yeah. Let me put my plug in.
Not any of my paid sources.
For the guys who have not bought that Craigslist video, you need to go ahead and check it out. And put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out, because that Craigslist, I'm telling you, it's not just the guys who have bought it have all told me good testimonies off of it. The guys
that Craigslist video is awesome.
Yeah, and so what you want to do is keep doing it. If something is working, keep working it. If you got to tweak anything, tweak it, but keep doing the same thing. If it's working, don't stop doing what already works.
Exactly.
All right, so Brock, what was the biggest mistake you made since you've been doing detailing?
Biggest mistake?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes.
I would say when I first started, I started out way too cheap. And then I went to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and charged way too much.
Mm-hmm.
I went from $20 a car, which wasn't making any money, so I raised my prices, ended up doing an interior detail for $250, and ended up losing that as an ongoing client because I ended up charging them way too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would say one of my biggest mistakes when I first got started is I wasn't thinking big enough. Right? I wanted to be the guy who just got my van, maybe get a couple more vans and just make my money like that, not knowing in the beginning I should have had the mentality of let's take over the country, let's take over the state, let's take over everything. Because now,
my goal from the start has been I want to be the biggest detailer in Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, and most guys they just the thing is when you have a goal that big, you got to be in it for the long run. You got to be in it for the long run, because if you're not, anything will pretty much blow you out of the way. Your goals got to be so massive. One guy told me this. He said you got to make your goals so big that you need God help.
Yep.
If it doesn't take you and God to put that together, right, for that goal to come to manifest, then your goal ain't big enough.
Exactly.
You got to have big, especially in detailing, you got to have big, juicy goals. Big, juicy goals that it seems like it's impossible to make, impossible to achieve. But you'll see as you start going towards that.
One business professor I know
things will start pulling you towards that goal, right? And one thing for sure is that the average detailer is not trying to take over the state, right? He's barely the street. You know what I'm saying? And so even though you might be, it might seem like you're so far away from that goal, but yet you're so far ahead of everybody else.
Yep. One business professor at one of the local universities here said you need to have 3 kinds of goals: short-term, long-term, and completely unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually that unrealistic goal will be within your sights. If you expect to be that big.
Yeah. And the thing is to take, what was that? It's an old saying, is how do you eat it was a joke, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. So you got to take that big goal, reverse engineer it in your head, and take those little small steps every single day to get a little bit further than you were yesterday. Trying to completely go to to go to the next level. And if you're not writing down your goals or your taking a journal on what you're doing every single day, right? Because what I do on Sunday, I call it pre-grind. And what I do is I write down everything that I need to get done to achieve the goal this week. Now, I'm not trying to get to the gigantic goal, but it's going to get me a little bit closer. And so by the end of the week, this is where I plan on being if I get through this entire list. Now, sometimes I don't get through the entire list. I just put it on for next week. Like we did this radio show last week, but I put it on for next week. So, but now it's done, you know. Now it's done. And we just keep inching every little inch. It's just trying to get a little bit better every single day.
Yep.
A little bit better every single day. And pretty soon, you will be miles ahead of people, years ahead of people. And that's what you really want to do, man. Let me switch it up just a little bit. How do you like, okay, so you know, like, let's say you got an appointment, right? And this is a question for one of the newbies. Let's say you got an appointment, and what's your style of greeting that customer when you get to the person's house or location?
Well, I go up to them, I introduce myself, I walk through what they wanted again, and then I walk through that car with them. They're beside me the whole time I go through that car, looking for any kind of problems that might already be there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, I can say I can fix it I can throw that in and fix it. Some of them, like deep scratches, I tell them up front. That way they can't ever say that it was me who caused it.
Right. I got, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I got a lot of people who have signed up for my mentor class, and one thing that I told one of these guys is he was asking me about insurance, and should an auto detailer have insurance? And I said, yes, you need to have insurance, right? But I understand
Absolutely.
in the beginning you can't really afford it like that, right? So you out there being extra careful. And what I told him to do, and everyone really listen to this broadcast should really do this and apply this in their life, is when you get to the person's house and you're about to start on the car, go ahead and record, do a video, and do the entire outside of that car, right? And point out any kind of defects on that car, especially if there's anything that you can get out. And then you do, that's called the before video, and do that on the inside as well, and do an after you finish, right? Just in case if that customer says, well, you scratched my car, you got it on video before you even started.
Yep.
And that's good insurance right there.
Yep. Like the insurance policy that I haven't gotten it yet, I'm going to be getting it in the next week or two. It's $500 a year for a $2 million liability policy.
Mm-hmm.
So business insurance isn't that expensive.
Right, it's not.
And they let you pay it out over that year. They don't make you pay the full $500 cost of policy up front.
Yeah, boom. But some people are scared because some people are scared that, okay, I don't have any money right now, but, I mean, just at least find out how much it costs.
Yep.
Find out how much it costs, because a lot of contracts, even the ones, if you plan on getting like a major dealership, they want to know that you got insurance.
Yep.
They want to know that. They want to know that. When you go to these corporate buildings and you're getting contracts with the entire building, they ask for your insurance.
Yep. And they want you to have a copy of that paperwork on you right then.
What does Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson all have in common? They all had a mentor, and you need a mentor. Our mentorship classes will push you out of your comfort zone. We will give you strategies, concept, motivation to not only be successful, but incredible in all your endeavors of life. We will encourage you and lift your auto detailing business to an all new level. All the greats had a coach. If you want to be great, sign up today and click that link below.
We're talking about approaching the customer, right? one way that I do is, you definitely have to introduce yourself, but presentation is everything too, because you never get a second chance to do it first time. And what is it? A first time?
A first impression.
Exactly. So one thing I always do is, like, when I was going out detailing, I keep some free breeze or some kind of smell good on me, right? So I spray myself down with it before I get out the car. Yeah.
I do the same. Good. I mean, I smoke, so I do the same thing before I go up, because that way the smell of cigarettes isn't going to hit them at all.
Yeah. I make sure my shirt is tucked in. You know, I have my apron on already. That I'm ready to get down. I have one glove on, my left hand glove, and I have my right hand just wide open. So when I get up to them, I look them in the eye. I introduce myself, and then I tell them, "This is your package that you have." And then we go over the car. And then my next intention is, depending upon the package, is, am I going to upsell them?
Yeah.
So once we start going over the car, and I see potential where I could upsell them, then I start pitching them the upsell. Other than that, we're just going over the car, explain to them exactly what I'm going to do to the car, how long it's going to take, and that's basically it. And then I get started.
Yeah, and always tell them it'll take a little bit longer than what you think it will.
Exactly.
If you have any kind of problem.
Yeah. And that's a good point. And the beautiful part about that is, let's say you tell them it's going to take 4 hours to do this car, and you finished it in 2, right? The customer's going to be happy, because it's like, man, you did a great job, and it only took you like 2 hours. You finished early.
Yep.
They're going to be happy about that. They're going to be happy about it. So, yeah, there's definitely something that you want to do. All right. So, Bob, what kind of chemicals? How do you do your exterior detail from start to bottom?
Exterior, I mainly I just moved to starting to use a waterless wash, but before that, I was using McGuire's car wash and a 5-gallon bucket and a pressure washer.
Okay.
But I just moved to using McGuire's waterless wash, and I'm getting done washing the outside of a car in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
A pickup 20.
Yeah. A lot of detailers frown upon waterless washing until they try it.
Yep.
Until they try it. And so once
and the only reason I tried it in the first place is I had an office building client, and there was no water. I had to figure something else out.
Yeah. It's definitely a fast technique of doing it. It's a fast technique of doing it. I can't say you can rely on it totally. You can, because we do it down here. You know, but there's situations where, like, you know, if you got to do a semi truck or you got to do a gigantic boat, you pressure wash it.
Yeah.
Pressure wash it.
And also use water and soap if you live in an area people go mudding a lot, and it's a truck that's obviously been mudding. If it's been mudding, you do not want to use a waterless wash. It will take you forever. Whereas a pressure washer will literally wash the mud away.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of waxes do you use? Like, okay, if you're doing like a 4-step, 5-step detail on the outside of the car after you wash it, what's your go-to chemical?
Right now, I'm using Mother's liquid carnauba wax. I put that on an applicator pad, and I just lightly buff it into the car.
Yeah, the Mothers work good. Mothers work really good. Really good.
And it's not a clear wax, so I can tell where my coverage has already been at when I put it on before I start wiping it off. which I've used some waxes that when you put it on, but even before you wipe off the haze, it's completely clear. You can't tell what areas you've hit, what areas you've missed.
Yeah.
From a quick glance.
And it works particularly good on like red cars, deep, dark cars. It works really good on that. Really good on that. I've even used it in direct sunlight. It was a little bit more difficult taking off, but it still gave me very, very good results when using it.
Yeah, it gives you that shine that'll go on for days.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been pushing on YouTube the importance of a mentor, and just want to ask you, what would you say? Why would you say a mentor is important?
A mentor can be important to give you suggestions on what avenues you should take, both for advertising and for what kind of chemicals you need to use. What you would do in a certain situation. Like here, we have a lot of people that do mud, and without somebody to tell you how to take off that mud that's been caked on there, you're going to end up scratching the crap out of the car. Or truck, rather.
Yeah.
Because mud is not a good thing on the clear coat of that vehicle. So you got to be very careful. You need, like I use for vehicles that have been through mudding, I normally use a really low PSI pressure washer. That way I don't ever accidentally pull off any of the clear coat when I'm cleaning it off. And I take my time with it.
One of the beautiful things about having a mentor is, number one, you avoid a lot of mistakes. And what kills a lot of detailing companies in the beginning, kill their name, kill their reputation in the beginning, is because they make what you call just like juvenile mistakes. You're young in the business, you don't know everything about it. And I'm not saying that anyone does know everything about it, but if someone has been in the game much longer than you, then you definitely want to find a mentor. One of the main things of finding a mentor is, I would say you need to find a mentor even before you start detailing cars. Because the mentor is going to tell you how to get what you need to get, the right stuff, the right chemicals, the path to go on, how to find your customers before you even start. So you have a wealth of knowledge before you even start.
Yeah, like I just started this business earlier this year, and if I'd had a mentor before I started, I would not have had those struggles I had in that first couple of months of where's my next customer coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't exist. And I mainly did it from watching your videos, Brent.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of guys who call me and just say, I just want to say thank you, Prince. That's it. A guy texts me, and he's from Las Vegas. He texts me at 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I released my video. He texted me 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Man, thank you. You really helped my day. And I'm getting up and I'm going beast mode." I said, my man. So it really helps out that, it feels good to touch a lot of people. I had some people call me and say, you're giving out a lot of information. You're giving out too much information. But my response to that is just, I try and help as many people as possible, but it's nothing compared to what I really got. The stuff that I put out on YouTube is nothing really compared to what I really have.
Right.
So it's okay to give away, little things like that. If it's going to help you advance a little bit more, then yeah, go ahead and do it. I was talking to one of the guys in my mentor class. His name is Devin, and Devin reminded me about some of the detailed courses that we're putting together, and it's really like training on demand. And so instead of spending like $5,000 to learn how to do ceramic coating, here's a video right here. Just pay $10 for it.
Yeah.
And learn on your own. That's how you give. Right, and $10 is not compared. Like ceramic coating, people charge as the minimum I've seen someone charge ceramic coating was like $239, and that was a coupe. The max I've seen was up to like $700, $800.
And even then, it depends on what kind of ceramic coating you're wanting. There's what 10, 15 different kinds of ceramic coating.
That's true too. And that's actually a good selling pitch. If you are pushing ceramic coating, you need to tell the customer the difference between this brand and that brand. And if this brand is more expensive and is better, then you're trying to push them towards that brand. But if they don't have the money, then they have to go with the cheap brand. That's how it is. That's how it is. When you go to the grocery store and I want Captain Crunch, right? And you get there and they got something else called like Crisp Crunch, right? And Crisp Crunch is $2, Captain Crunch is $4. Which one you want?
Exactly.
That's it. That's it. And what I found out earlier in my career, in my sales career, is that you can't give the customer too many options. Too many options, they'll just run away. They don't know what to pick.
Yep. I've done phone sales most of my adult life, and you don't want to give them more than 2 options, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
And even then, that's a big maybe, and that's a case by case. Most customers, you give them more than 2 options, they tell you, "Let me think on it," and they never call you again.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta have another radio show on cold calling, because I know most people are scared to do cold calling. I'm not scared. I love it.
I did outbound telemarketing sales. There is no problem calling somebody I had never talked to before and saying, "This is what I got." Yeah. It's all about having your script and having your rebuttals ready for when they say, "Well, what about X?"
Yeah, and what you will find out is that the customers your customers will ask the same questions over and over and over again.
Yep. And you can't give them the exact same wording at the end.
Man, you become a beast at it.
And you can't give the exact same wording for an answer, because they'll just get pissed off about it. And in their minds, they're not asking you the same question. They're asking you something totally different.
Right, but what I mean is like if usually let's say we're on a call and let's say the customer always asks what do you use for your to shampoo the carpet, right? Let's say that's it. One, and then the question, the next person who comes on gonna say the same thing. Well, what do you use for? And you know how to use that rebuttal, and you get better and better and better as you go. The thing about it is most people don't like rejection.
Rejection's hard, but for every 10 people that say, "No, I don't want it," you'll get that one that says, "Absolutely."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think that mobile detailing, there's still people out there who have no idea that there are people that come to their house and clean their car.
Yeah.
So
and then they got to take it to some shop that's going to either be super cheap and do a really crappy job, or the opposite end of the spectrum, they're so expensive they can't afford it.
Right.
Like around here, nobody really advertises that they're a mobile detailer. Every place has a shop around here, and every place you have to simply ask them if they do mobile to find out. They don't say anything about it on their website. They don't say anything about it on any kind of advertising.
Yeah.
Which is small to begin with. Most of them don't do anything beyond Google.
For even if we take mobile detailing, let's take detailing out of the equation altogether. Most business owners really don't know how to advertise their business, regardless of how big they are. Most business owners, right? People who start off with an idea, that, okay, I want to make this kind of company, and they might go ahead and do it, but they have no idea. They don't know anything about sales. They don't know anything about marketing. They don't know anything about cold calling. Know anything about that. I just want to make this business, and I think I want to make money off of it.
Exactly.
And that's a situation right there. But one thing for sure is that I know this in auto detailing. One thing for sure, even if you know nothing, right? You know nothing. All you know is detailing, right? And you know nothing about marketing. You can still kill the competition, because the competition by far is like average. The average detailer or below average detailer. So if you go out there and you offer that customer supreme, excellent service, they're going to call
excellent service, and always sound like you know what you're talking about.
Always sound like, even if you don't know, sound like it.
Yeah.
Sound like you know what you're talking about. That's good stuff, right?
What does Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson all have in common? They all had a mentor, and you need a mentor. Our mentorship classes will push you out of your comfort zone. We will give you strategies, concept, motivation to not only be successful, but incredible in all your endeavors of life. We will encourage you and lift your auto detailing business to an all new level. All the greats had a coach. If you want to be great, sign up today and click that link below.